Hi guys, it's Sarah Watt from Sarah Watt Fitness here. I wanted to do a quick little video about the importance of the pelvic floor. It's something that I feel isn't spoken about enough, and it's coming up more and more in the media recently, so I thought it might be beneficial to do a quick little facts video in terms of what is the pelvic floor, why is it important to us, why should we care, and how can we show the pelvic floor a little bit more love. So firstly, what is the pelvic floor? What is it? It's basically a layer of muscles that are bound together underneath us. So it runs from the front pubic bone all the way under us to meet the coccyx, so the lower of our spine at the back. And it's pretty damn important, the pelvic floor. It keeps all of our internal organs and everything uptight, kept pristine. So without it, we would be a little bit lost. So in terms of what it's made up, so I said it's made up of muscles, but it's made up of two types of muscles. It's made up of type 1 and type 2. So the type 1 muscle, as seen in the rest of our body, is made for endurance. So it's predominantly seen in, for example, marathon runners and triathletes. So it's muscles that can be used for long periods of time. For example, you're stuck in a car, you need a wee super bad, the next services aren't for another 30 miles, you're hanging on for dear life, and your type 1 muscles in your pelvic floor are working their hardest to make sure that you don't wet yourself. So that's type 1. Type 2, as seen in the rest of your body, is seen in sprint athletes and weightlifters, so it's really short, intense bursts of exercise. And in the pelvic floor muscle, for example, it's when you are on the toilet and just for fun, I don't know what you do in your spare time, but you just stop your wee and let it go. So that's the short, intense type 2 pelvic floor muscles that are in use there. So in terms of why is the pelvic floor important, Sarah, why are you chatting to me about people wetting themselves? Well, stats have come out recently to say that 1 in 3 women suffer from bladder incontinence. Basically, 1 in 3 women wet themselves every day. And this, to me, really hit home because it's something that I'm really passionate about, educating women on how they can avoid that and how it's never too late to try and avoid that. So men get it too. It's not just for women, but it's more spoken about with women because the pelvic floor takes such a hit throughout pregnancy. It's carrying a huge added weight for 9 months and then undergoing labour to then try and recover again. If we don't use that muscle both before pregnancy and afterwards to try and keep it strong, it's just going to get weak, which is why women then suffer about or complain about wetting themselves while skipping or sneezing and coughing. And this is something that doesn't have to be the norm. And with my clients, both pre and postnatal, it's something that I make mandatory in their programs so that they can train both with me during our sessions, training the pelvic floor, and make it as part of their routine. So something as a key takeaway for you guys, we're not only learning about the wonderful pelvic floor, but also learning about how you could strengthen your pelvic floor at home. Make it part of your routine. Every time you brush your teeth, you can work your pelvic floor. Every time you stop at a red car light, you could work your pelvic floor. And that's because no one knows you're doing it. It's completely invisible to the human eye. So all you need to do is literally just squeeze on and hold really tight those muscles you can feel underneath you and release. 5 minutes a day is all you need to do, and it's something that I really am passionate about getting more people doing, both men and women, to just better their lives for the future and not have to wear tenor pants. Enough said.